If I decide that I've been in that boat.
Okay, get out the boat. Get back on this boat.
No, I had a job.
And you quit.
No, I didn't. I resigned.
That's quitting.
It's not quitting. Quitting is I can't do the job. Resigning is I give my job back to you. I don't want it no more. No, that's the difference. I have no problem with somebody quitting the job.
So, because it was killing you.
So
why did you apply to the same job again?
Let's begin now.
Got my first job at Comcast. Mm-hmm. You was charging me $300 a month. Okay, what were you doing with that $300?
You got some daggone trust issues.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. I'm gonna tell you something. You can't.
Y'all was in there shopping together.
Do not get married.
Y'all was in there shopping together.
Do not get married.
Well, I'm Mike. This is my beautiful mom, Linda.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome back to another episode of the Mike and His Mom Show. I'm Mike. This is my beautiful mom,
Hey.
Linda, and this is my sister, Shannon. Why you sitting like that?
She's posing. Oh, I'm sitting like that?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. Do I look crazy?
No, you look fine.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, welcome back, Mom, Shannon. How was you guys' weekend?
We had a whole week off, actually.
Yeah.
So I have a lot to talk about.
All right. We did have some bad weather in Baltimore last week, so we didn't gather or commune, fellowship. My week was fine. I'm lying, it wasn't. I had to go to work.
Oh, no.
We'll talk about that later. The Ravens won. Go Ravens. Okay.
Shannon got her Raven shirt.
Go
Go, Shannon.
So, let's get right into the meat and the potatoes. Last week here in Baltimore, a recording was released from Pikesville High School, the home of the Pikesville Wildcats. But the principal is the Pikesville Wild Boy. See what I did there? Pikesville Wild Boy. A recording was released. He was having a conversation. I don't know who. Do y'all know who he was having with? Was that revealed yet? Well, he was having a conversation in his office, or wherever he was having it at. And we're going to play the recording for you guys. And we're going to have a conversation about that, especially since these two are parents. And you still have kids that are actually in high school. So this will be an interesting conversation amongst the family. So I'm going to play the recording for you guys, and we'll be back in about 45 seconds.
You know, I seriously don't understand why I have to constantly put up with these dumbasses here every day. Between these ungrateful black kids who can't test their way out of a paper bag, or these teachers who don't get it, how hard is it to get these students to meet their grade level expectations? Lawrence and Ravenel should have never been hired. And don't let me get started on DJ. I'm going to drag his black ass out of here one way or another. I'm going to get something to stick. I'm just so sick of the inadequacies of these people. And if I have to get one more complaint from one more Jew in this community, I'm going to join the other side. Kathy, I'm done.
And we're back. So that was Pikesville's High principal. He is indeed, in fact, a wild boy. So when I first heard it, I was taken aback. He's using some very strong language. One would even dare say racist, maybe?
Dare
say?
Dare say?
Okay. Some racist, highly offensive language towards his staff, the black kids, the Jewish community that the school was in. He called the children ungrateful blacks.
They can't test their way out of a paper bag.
Can't test their way out of a paper bag, which I don't even know how you would test out of a paper bag. Referred to somebody on staff or somebody as a black ass.
Was he calling them dumb?
No, he called somebody a black ass.
It's like he's talking about his staff. He's going to get him out of here or something.
Yeah,
He's going to drag someone out. We got to drag
drag that black ass out of here, I think is what he said. Coming at the staff for their inadequacies. And then overall just the Jewish community that the school resides in, and the inadequacies of the students unable to meet their grade level expectations when testing. So we got a lot to unpack there on what he said. So I'll start with the parents in the room. Shannon, you still have two high school students. So how did that make you feel?
I really rely on the staff at the schools to support my kids. So if I was a parent of a student in one of their schools, that would bother me a lot, because where is the concern for these black kids that can't figure out how to test out of a paper bag, right? and his staff may be maybe he's frustrated at the inadequacies of the staff to get these kids the test out of this proverbial paper bag. But it's like he's mocking them. You know what I mean? Like, it seemed like he's making a mockery, and it's all about what the numbers, like, it's all about how it looks versus what they're not producing for their own betterment. So in our school system, like, the teachers, they send postcards home to the kids, like, in the summertime, like, they are pretty engaged and they seem to care. Even before I pulled one of my kids out, because she just wasn't doing well in the school setting, I pulled her out for a homeschool. There was a lot of support before that to, like, try to figure out how to keep her grounded. And if I heard one of them making a remark like that, it's like, I thought you were on my side. I do look at them to be people that I, like, collaborate with so that they can get in and out of the school safely and like academically sound. So that I was shocked. I didn't know anything about that until you brought it up.
And then he called the children ungrateful.
Oh yeah, and ungrateful.
He called them ungrateful.
And what are they supposed to be grateful for? That type of attitude?
Like, and from my understanding, because I don't know the man personally, never met him. I do know some people that have. He's been their teacher in other schools and stuff, and they talked about how his attitude towards African American people were back then. There were plenty of issues with him. It seemed like he was bounced around. And I'm not saying this is true or not, because like I said before, I've never dealt with him on this level, but he appeared to be comfortable talking to Kathy, whoever Kathy is. It's like this is not first time conversation. Like, he didn't have to tread no water. He said what he said, he meant what he said, and now you look at what is the school system going to do about it, because if you can sit in the school system, school or office or wherever you are, and display this kind of attitude towards the children, towards the Jewish community, what are you doing about yourself, sir, if you see that your staff isn't doing what they need to do? If there's a higher up that you can go to, I'm tired of these ungrateful children. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. I'm going to drag so-and-so out of the school. If I have to, I'm going to drag his black A out of this school. These kind of remarks. And then, from my understanding, they came and escorted him out to school. And escorted him out to school, why? So that he could be protected. You don't want no harm to come to him. But what are y'all going to do about this situation? He's clearly making remarks that does not sit well. I know it wouldn't sit well with me if my children were there. And then what are the parents of the children that go to the school? What are the parents going to demand out of this? Are we going to stand together and and do nothing? Or are we going to stand together and do something to make sure that my children are getting the proper education that they need? To address my children, to say, okay, I need to see your report cards. I need to see this. I need to see that, and be on top of your children's game, and well as being on top of the school. Because I remember when y'all were in school, and if I had concerns, I had issues, I was up at school 24/7. I'm definitely.
All it takes is one good email.
Yeah.
They're frightened by, because they typically, especially black parents, they don't think that we're that engaged.
Right.
And so when they and honestly, I'm just going to keep it real. There are a lot of, I am black, so I have so I'm not going to say so I have, but most of my friends are black, and I will tell you, a lot of them are not as engaged as they could be.
Right.
They are not. I can't speak to any other race. I'm not any other race, and I don't have a wide selection of other friends that of other ethnicities or races. All it takes is an email, and they're like, "Oh goodness, she cares." Like that's all. Because my first thing is always an email. I'm not calling. I'm not going. I have stuff to do. I don't have time to come up there.
And you know why the email is good? It's a paper trail.
It's a paper trail. Right.
It's a paper trail. If you got
a
phone call is not the same. Like you can do everything in person, you can do everything by the phone, you can do all that stuff, but back it up with something that they can always trail. They can always have a track of it.
It's always
I emailed, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. And therefore they have to respond.
Right.
They're going to respond because they got something, they got some kind of leverage now.
Right.
And that's what I said, because he was comfortable with that conversation. He was comfortable talking about the Jewish community. He was comfortable talking about the black kids. He was comfortable talking about his staff with Kathy. Now, who did the recording? Was it Kathy or was it somebody else? Was she doing it? Because how many times has he said this to her?
But you know what, in Kathy's defense, I don't know if you're coming for her or not, but sometimes people are intimidated by people who have that much courage to speak like that. So this woman could, whoever is recording, let's say it's only him and her in the room, like she could be fed up with how he's acting, like I'm going to record this, and that is her first step to
coming forward.
Yeah, right, to coming forward. Because when people, have y'all ever been taken aback when somebody did something like, I can't believe they did that, and then you don't even know how to respond because you can't believe that they just did or said that. So that could be the case.
That could be the case.
Person.
What were you gonna say?
So let's try to. Cause I can see the fire burning in the parents on the panel.
Okay, let's go ahead, kid.
So one thing that stuck out to me from what you said, but you want to make sure that the teachers and everybody cares. This, however, was the principal, and although he was a teacher before, someone else that you mentioned, but he's the principal now at the school. Would your response or feelings be different? Because the principal doesn't interact with the kids as much as the teachers does. He's just overseeing the school. So had a teacher actually said it, would you feel differently, or you would still feel the same?
I would feel exactly the same. And principals do interact with the students.
Yeah. Well, meaning he's not.
I understand what you're saying. They don't. It's not maybe a
day-to-day
consistent
direct.
That's yeah, I got you.
Like, so we're not in direct relationship with the.
Yeah, but with the principal, sometimes kids can build a relationship with the principal that has.
I did.
Right.
Yeah.
I was in trouble.
But you build a relationship with the
relationship.
Right, and they can create this thing for you where I want to do good, because the principal is, he's a person of integrity. He's a person, or he or she, that really cares. So maybe he's not showing that he cares.
So and there's no side of y'all that thinks maybe he does care. He's just
what?
I'll give him
frustrated.
I said maybe he's that frustrated, but in his heart, as you know, I have become a student of the heart. In his heart, all of that lives. Out of the heart speaks, what is it, the words of abundance, or the abundance of, no, out of your mouth speaks the abundance of your heart. That's how he feels.
So would y'all rather him have this? Okay.
I would rather him be honest and say, our black students are struggling. They cannot get their test scores up. That I am not against the fact that he's saying that they're not doing well. I mean, what is it? Baltimore City population of the kids reading on a 4th grade level, was it the boys? It's terrible. Now, this is Baltimore County, and it's in a Jewish community, so you would think they may be a little bit more advanced for other reasons. The community is different. So I'm not mad that he's speaking a truth. It's the way he's speaking.
It's his choice of language.
Yeah, it's like, it's just careless. It's careless. I wouldn't want a person like that managing my children's day to day. I wouldn't want that.
Would you pull your kids out of the school?
No,
as effective today, or whenever it happened.
Well, we gonna pull them out and put them where?
This police zone there. You gotta go there.
Yeah, that's his zone.
Now, I will tell you that. What?
I mean, that's true. Okay, that's true. All right.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
So then how do you feel? Because now they got to finish out there, because y'all ain't moving apparently.
Well, I homeschooled my child.
Well, now they got to finish their high school education at this school, and he's the only one that said it. So there are probably other teachers. I'm not saying probably, but if he's probably the only one that felt that way. He's just the one that got caught saying it. So do you still feel comfortable with
you stay on top of your children. You stay on top of their education. You stay on top of the teachers. You put more effort into knowing what's going on in the school system. You attend the PTA meetings. You attend all this stuff, and you have a voice of concern. Hey, this principal said this. Where are you all at into making sure that everything that he said is reversed? The kids' grades do get better. What are y'all going to do now since he said this? And then also, what are the Jewish community? They calling for concern. What's their concern? Let's address their concern. What are we doing? We're not going to just knock everybody down. If the Jewish community is calling here, and he's telling them, calling them, obviously you're not addressing the concern that they have. So what's the concern that they have? We don't know where it started. We don't know why they're calling there.
But you know what the funny thing is, Mom? The Jewish community, they're calling, but they could and probably are the ones that are excelling, right? Mm-hmm. And the black students possibly are not getting the call. So he's just frustrated with his job overall.
This is right.
Yeah,
right.
Because if we start calling, can you take that? Can you really handle all these parents calling? You mad about a few Jewish people calling?
Right.
Then he going to turn to this other side. Like,
Right.
what,
Yeah,
like,
what's the other side you gonna turn to?
Like,
What's the other side?
That I was curious. Like, what is this other
What
side?
side?
Yeah, like.
I'm gonna go to the left and go to the right. What side you going to?
What other side are you talking
Oh, I think that
to?
was like a political.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
it sound like a political Trump statement. That's what it sounds like.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It sounded like something political he was trying to say. Yeah.
But in a negative way.
In a negative way, right.
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 In a negative way. Are you going to do something? Is this a threat against my children? It didn't sound right.
Yeah.
What are you going to do now? What are you going to do?
what is his name? Do you know?
I don't know his name.
Oh, okay. But yeah, like I was going to say also, as far as you asking about, the children feeling safe in my kid's school, last school year, there was a man that they came and arrested at his house because they found out he was doing porn, child porn.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, yeah.
He worked at the school?
Yeah, he worked at the school. So
Oh, right. I remember
that? Yeah. So, and I think he was still at their school last year, but whatever. My point is this: if you have to send your children to school, like there's a stuff going on. We're people. Like, we can't look at these teachers like they're saints. They're just regular people, So which is why you need to govern your child's school life. You don't leave it up to them to make sure everything is going honky dory. And that's where the ball is dropped. We cannot control the things they say. We cannot control what you think they talking about in the teachers' lounge?
And that was my next point, is that they probably are sharing some of their sentiments, whether good, bad, or indifferent,
Right.
amongst each other.
Right.
He's just the one that got caught. I used to always think when I was in elementary school, the teacher's lunchroom was right across from the cafeteria.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what's going on behind them doors? Like it's probably where they just go in there and just get off with each other and just.
They're just
and
sharing
just,
Splenda.
And just well,
and
sure.
their weekend.
And but because this is what I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think children spend more time with their teachers than they do at home. We spend 8 hours a day at school.
Well, in high school, not necessarily, because not with their teachers, with several people. They tend to spend more time in school.
Well, yeah, okay,
because
sure.
they're bouncing around.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
But we spend the majority of our day interacting with these people.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, they know us. They kind of have an idea of who we are.
Mm-hmm.
The kind I don't want to say the kind of child we are, but the kind of student that we are.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, they're humans too. So they're not robots. So that's a hard job to do.
It is.
It's very, and it takes a lot of patience.
Yeah.
Right.
So it sounds like Homeboy's patience just ran thin. So do you lend in your Christian heart grace to this principle,
Of course.
or do you want him gone?
He shouldn't be in the job.
Well, he would be gone.
Yeah,
I'm trying to find his
forgiveness.
name. Excuse me. I'm trying to find his name. But no, I think that
Yeah, he
because
should be forgiven.
because of here it is. We can extend grace,
Yeah, that's.
but see you.
Yeah, you
Because
can't.
I can't trust him now. And like I said, he was comfortable with that conversation. We can extend grace, and if this is the way you felt, you should have kept it to yourself. You shouldn't have been doing that. And you got to, you got to suffer the consequences. What are the consequences? He needs to go now. And then look at the school. The school board. Look at the school. Let's look at the grades. Put it out there. Let's look at the grades.
Well, all of that is not going to change in a semester.
No, it's not going to change. It's not going to change, but it can be in a semester. But it can start a change right now.
I mean, he's not fit for that position. He might need to step. Let's say he doesn't necessarily work as a front-facing person in the school administration. He could be behind the scenes creating curriculums. Maybe his passion is success, but because he's in this leadership role, you're not fit to be a leader. It's just like if a pastor's family is doing something that, let's say a pastor's family a child comes out, the child has a child out of wedlock. And they say, you're supposed to sit down. You can't run your family. You can't stand here and represent this because your family are doing things that are outside of the body of Christ. So you can't be a representation of this. It doesn't mean that he can't, do something else, but then you might need to, he's just not fit for that role.
Eric is Eiswert. That's his last name.
And I was wondering if he's Jewish, and that's why he meant he's going to switch to the other side. Like, is he?
I don't know what it is.
If I had kids, I would pull my kids out.
And go where?
Where are they going to go?
To another school.
What? Why? Because what the principal said?
Well, yes. But
So you
now I don't trust the environment
Why not?
because I don't think he's the only one that feels that way.
it's
all
probably some
over.
people that feel
Right,
that way.
but now I know.
But it's some probably.
And I got questions for the folks that's in the room.
What room? Oh, this room.
No, not this.
Oh, that was-
that was in the room with him.
Well, you just know Kathy was there.
Oh, I want to talk to Kathy now.
But you don't know who else was there. He only called Kathy's name. I can't imagine somebody else being there.
I would just feel uncomfortable with that whole dynamic now, that whole situation.
You know, what you'll learn is that whole situation exists all around.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I understand because you now know you feel different about this school. All you're doing is taking your child out of a school that they've made their friends with, they're comfortable with, they know the people. I would talk to, before I decided to take, let's say I had your conviction and I'm like, I want to take them out of the school. I would talk to them about their experience at the school. Do you like this school? Why do you like this school? Do you feel safe? They're high school students, so they can speak up for themselves.
That's very parent-like of you.
And then it says that it is their understanding that the principal's union claims the recording was generated using artificial intelligence.
Oh, of course. They're going to blame
him.
AI on everything. They're going to blame
him.
AI. I did not shoot that man. That was AI who did it. But I mean, look, I'm not mad at it. They say AI can do a lot of stuff, so that's what they're going with. This is going to be a hard battle to fight. We fighting against AI, and what they're going to choose that.
How do you know that the Secret Service had to escort him out?
The Secret Service.
I'm saying.
The Secret Service. The world. They had snipers on the roof waiting for him.
I was somewhere and I heard some lady saw and they said that he got escorted out of the building. You know, they said, so I don't know if he's still there or not. You know, we can look it up and find out.
I can't imagine him being there.
But this is the human side.
What?
Is that now he's having a hard time sleeping at night.
Is he?
Like he is.
You talk to him?
I'm just saying.
Y'all friends?
He is Baltimore County Public Schools enemy #1 right now. Like, and granted, there are consequences to what he said in his actions.
But some of them don't look. Some of these people don't care.
I know. I agree.
They don't care. He ain't having a hard time sleeping at night. He might feel good about what he said. He said it.
Well, hopefully it make him feel bad.
Well, he just got caught.
Hopefully this will help him turn
to be a better person.
Yeah, like dag. Now that I hear it, I hear how it sounds. Sometimes we do things and we really don't realize that what we're doing.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Hold on, wait.
Okay.
Here's the deal. I don't know about all that.
Oh, what?
What you're just saying about how he may feel right now. For the union to come out, because the union ain't coming out saying nothing without talking to him first.
What union? Oh, the teachers union?
Yeah. They have to talk to him first. This is our story, AI intelligence.
Oh, that one. I forgot
Right.
about that.
So the union talked to him.
I'm not saying today he has a change of heart. I'm just saying maybe this experience will turn his heart. He will be like, I shouldn't have said that. I feel bad for what I did.
So you've never got mad at any of us, and you get your I don't know, and called us ungrateful black ass.
Who else called you?
I'm asking. I don't know.
I do think I think my children can be ungrateful.
Black asses.
I don't talk to them like that.
Yeah,
But,
and you know what? And you know what, Mikey?
No, this is what I'm asking.
No. Go
I
ahead.
don't think
Go
black
ahead. What you
kids are the
asking?
only ungrateful kids. I think ungratefulness is a spirit of all children. We're talking about children. I'm gonna keep that for you, okay? I'm not gonna say all people. Children. Like I just think that there's a lack of gratitude in children in general.
Would y'all feel different if he wasn't white? That's what I'm getting at.
No, he's
not about
Slow down. Don't just answer. With the response.
You're saying would it be a little bit lenient?
Would you be a little bit more lenient?
Because he understands. Because they're black.
Because they're black.
No.
Okay, I'm asking.
It's not about the color of his skin.
Yeah.
For some people, it is though. Because this is what I'm saying. Because the racial undertone that a white man saying black ass or ungrateful black ass, it doesn't sit right with black people. Like it
doesn't sit right with me if it was a black principal. It doesn't sit right.
I'm not arguing that point. I'm just saying it amplifies it because he's not black.
Right.
He's not one of us.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
It was no need for him to describe their race to say they're ungrateful.
Right.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Or they can't test their way out of a brown paper bag. All this stuff. They racial slurs.
No, right. So, no, I agree. That's why it sounds horrible coming from him.
It sounds horrible coming from him. Would sound horrible coming from a black person. It sounds horrible
because of the role they're in.
Yeah, I mean,
because of the role, not the race.
No, it's because of the role, and then the race doesn't make it. It doesn't make it better.
And then also dealing with the the racist remarks, dealing with people that do this stuff, and his race. Some of them think it's okay, and I'm only going to get a slap on the wrist. Opposed to if it was a black person that did that, you're fired immediately. You're out of the Jewish community. You're gone.
I think that I'm gonna be honest. I don't mind stern people. First of all, I don't. And probably because you've always been stern, right? So it's just like I don't mind people like giving it to me like it is. And if my child's principal said, she has so much potential. He has so much potential. But the way she carries on, and you would think that she can't test her way out of a paper bag, and I know that she can. That wouldn't offend me. It just wouldn't offend me because you are acting like that, and you don't have to. And this person is trying to encourage you. Like, so that kind of stuff and that testing out of a paper bag doesn't offend me. But he just sounds frustrated with the fact that people aren't showing numbers. Like that's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like he just like really cares. And now you're saying that he's had issues with other students in other schools. This is him. He might need character.
This is his pattern.
Yeah, he might need a character. And let's say he is just one of them stern people and he just used harsh words. He's just abrasive, and maybe he grew up around black people and he heard that and that was okay. It was accepted, right? And he just talking to Kathy because they be chilling. That is a possibility. He still needs to understand that you're not talking. He's in the comfort of the office with her, but now that it's coming out, he should understand why there's so much backlash. Like it's just it's inappropriate. So I don't really care about his race. I think in his role, he shouldn't say those types of things.
Now I've had some black teachers who were very
forward.
I would say like. Not mother-like, but that's why I was asking, do you think it's a black or white thing? Because like some black teachers do understand
more the dynamic of
the relationship.
Right.
So you would be, and I'm not saying using words, but you would be like Miss Williams, for example, my third grade teacher. You were a lot comfortable with her. I don't want to say chastising, but being hard on me, so to speak.
Takes a village to raise.
Right, and you get that sense of family amongst our caring and loving and amongst our community. So for that to happen outside, it makes a lot of people feel the wrong way. And I've heard some people say that they would take their children out of school. And then this goes to another conversation about putting your kids in public versus private school, because some private schools in the area are predominantly white. So if this is happening at a public school, then what do you think is happening or what's being said about your child at a predominantly white private school that you're actually paying money for now?
Well, I don't think I just don't think anybody's sitting around talking about my child. That's number one. I just don't think that.
Right.
My mind doesn't. I don't ever really think people are just out to get me and like why they messing. I just don't think that way. There's no reason for me to think that you're just sitting around talking about my child because you're white. Like I don't think that, and because their test scores are bad. Because my focus is not what you think. My focus is on you're the expert. You're the educator. Let us collaborate and figure out what to do to make my child's test scores better. And when my child was having behavioral and academic issues, y'all can't do nothing. So like a lot of times. Not that they can't, I guess they just, I saw that there was no progression. And so I independently decided how I was going to let my child finish her high school career. And so I'm not going to sit here, I can't keep going back and forth up to the school, talking to y'all. I'm not doing all of that. But I did have to give permission, and I will say this real quick. I do think, and I'm not trying to give anybody a pass for why they're not as tough, but I think a lot of those other teachers are afraid of black parents. They like, I don't even want to deal with you, because they'll just call they black parents, and especially mothers. A lot of times they're single mothers, right? they just don't have the patience and don't be doing this to my child. And well, what did they say? Why you keep calling me? Don't take that stuff. They have it's a chip on their shoulder. So I'm talking to one of the teachers one day, and I said, well, why did you not take her phone from her? Well, we really don't like to do that. I said, well, then you don't like for her to listen to you. I said, you're not disciplining her. Like she has no reason to regard you. You have to, I give you permission to take her phone. You ain't got to send the phone back. I don't care. Get her out your classroom. She's disturbing your whole class. Send it to the office. I said, y'all act like y'all don't do things the old school way. And I mean, he was like, oh, okay. So you don't mind? I was like, no. I said, you are my support system and I am your support system. I'm not there. You gonna keep calling me you're there. You need to lay it down. You need to deal with her. You are there with her. I don't care about what any other parent said that you can't do about their child. With mine, take everything from her. Put her out your class. I do not allow her to disrespect you.
In a conversation like that, more than likely, like how you said he responds, he removes the burden. Removes that weight from the teacher.
Yes, I can do this.
Yes, he felt relieved.
Can you imagine how many that are not allowing him to do that?
Yeah.
Right. And
Can you imagine how many?
You get the response from Mr.
Possibly
as
out of
worse.
frustration.
That's what I'm saying.
But we don't know.
We don't know that.
So we don't know if that's his response out of frustration or not. We don't know.
We just know he sounds frustrated.
You know, he sounds frustrated. But is this his true color? That's the part that happens. You don't know where it's coming from. Is this his true color? Is this how he really feels? Is this what's really in his heart? We really don't know. However, what I can say is that he made the wrong conversation.
Yeah, that's it.
You made the wrong conversation. Your concern shouldn't have been with it. Your concern should have been, look at these scores. Mm-hmm. Look at, what is my staff doing?
Right.
I need to bring all my staff in here. And we need to come up with another plan of how to get our children. Because these are our children. These are the ones that we are been assigned to in this school to make sure that they're productive. What can we do different? Let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. What the Jewish community is calling? What's the concern here?
Maybe we're dropping the ball.
Yeah.
Maybe we're not listening to it. Maybe we're not responding to their concerns appropriately.
But to sit here and say all this says to me that you don't even care about my concerns. If another Jewish person call here, these ungrateful black kids, you don't care about my children. Mm-hmm. You don't care about the concerns. You don't care about anything. Mm-hmm. You just want to make these remarks behind closed doors where you come out in the public and say it. If you feel this way for real, come on Channel 2 News and just say it. But you're not bold enough to do that, and you're not caring enough to help change this situation around to make it better. Yeah, that's just what I feel.
But God bless him still. And I hope he don't turn to the other side.
Whatever side.
It doesn't sound good.
What, are you going to leave his wife and go with?
I don't know what he's talking about. It just doesn't sound good. So
what are you going to do?
I hope he just reform.
Other side.
Well, on that note, I think it's important that we said we're going to start ending with a very thought-provoking question for the audience to think on. Do either of you have a thought?
I do. It was what I was talking about. And it kind of falls in line with this. So teaching and training. Mm-hmm. You teach. I was listening to something. I can't remember what it was. But the guy made a good point. Like, I can teach you all day long. And we teach our children all the time. But then the training part is the hard part. Because training is implementation. You got to now implement everything that I taught you, right? Mm-hmm. So I could have taught you to have manners, say thank you. You say thank you when people do things for you. But now I'm sitting here watching you not show gratitude and not be thankful. And so now how do we continue to train people so that they can be like just more responsible and more kind to each other? He has poor training, obviously, right? And the children have poor training as well. I don't believe all of if the test scores are true, and he made it sound like they were terrible, right? And it's not something that I haven't heard before. They need to be trained in how to be better stewards of their time so their education could accelerate. And they're not doing it. So I think that we need to really examine the teaching and training process. It doesn't stop at teaching. You have to do the hard work with your children and train them now. I taught you. Now I'm going to train you how to use everything I taught you. Now go into the world, be a productive citizen, and share all of this wealth of knowledge to other people. That's what I think.
And that's why the Bible says, train a child in his ways. It doesn't say teach.
Right.
Train up a child.
Yep. You train
In
up
the
a
way
child.
he should go, and he should not depart from it.
Right.
And unfortunately, Mr. Pikesville Wild Boy, this is your training day. It was a hard one, buddy. But
He was set up.
this was your training day.
Yeah, that was enough.
And I hope that he finds in his heart that, I was wrong. And be really, want to change.
Repent and renew his heart.
Don't go to that other side.
Don't go to the other side.
Whatever that other side is.
It didn't sound like it was a good side.
It was a good side.
It sounds like a side that's going to feed his desire to be even more wicked.
Right.
Because life.
Oh, we done?
No.
Oh.
But I'm breaking it up.
Okay.
No.
Because living life is the longest thing you'll ever do in the shortest amount of time, and we only get one. So whatever your goals, dreams, or desires are, use the teaching and the training that you acquired through life's journey to go out there and get the job done. And remember, his name is Jesus Christ, not Tom Cruise, because there's no such thing as Mission Impossible, because we can do all things through Christ that strengthens us. I'm Mike. This is my mom. This is Shannon in her Ravens jersey. Go Ravens.
Go Ravens.
And we'll see you next time on the Mike and his Mom show.